Good evening, good people, and welcome to Platy Party 3 slash Duck Boot Camp Week 6 Class 106.
I was gonna
It's
say,
going to be a race.
if you're gonna say it that way, at least let me have set the title card correctly, considering I gotta do everything right now. Oh,
Yeah, there's kind of a lot going on here tonight.
oh yeah,
It's,
just a little bit.
well, I am Saracen, joined by Maddie once again for the Platy Party
Hey,
with
still me.
special jumping in the booth last minute super awesome tracker phenomenal person Goats Pirate.
Wait, Goats is tracking?
Always trying to help.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
appreciate you, buddy.
all right. Well, while you're tracking, make sure you change yourself from tracker or on the tracker thing, because I'm gonna be busy. Anyway, though, so from what I understand, it's the Winter Tournament flag, which I'm actually familiar with for once.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
God, it's so amazing.
So it is a tradition, and you know this is one of those things where we're looking at making sure that in our Sunday classes we're focused on sort of that competitive element. And what better way to highlight that competitive element than, hey, what did we just do in our last major tournament? So this boot camp class is about racing our most recent winter tournament. And that is a very familiar place for many of our platypi runners who will be showcasing tonight. So these flags, if you're not familiar with them, we're going to go over them real quick because the gates already dropped for our runners. They're going to be like on the way very shortly.
On Doe ATM.
Yes. All right. So we have a shard hunt, which is pretty cool. We always like shard hunts. Long Topher with all the fiendry fights. Good times, good times.
Yes. I was gonna say, this is the flag set that made me have to learn the layout of Toph really, really well.
Long Topher is a skill set, and it's one that I think a lot of people have tried to move away from, and I'm just going to drag you back into it.
I'm all for it. Like, I don't mind it at all. I don't know what everyone's big deal is. Short Toph just confuses me. My one brain cell can't handle it.
All right, on to our scale. You're going to notice things are a little bit heftier and harder all around here.
Yeah.
We've got a lot higher monster stats all around, boss stats, boss HP, lower XP scaling, and very, very little XP chest conversion, which, you get little tiny boxes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if I recall that, there's a very good reason for that, considering the one thing that I remember from it, which is going to be on the incentives flag.
Well,
if we're
gonna get there. We're gonna get there. In fact, let's go there. Incentive.
Can I say it? Can I say it? It's
you may.
Yay! It's oops, all loose. So this was a flag set that, again, this was kind of my introduction to stuff because we needed extra players, and I'm there and like to volunteer for stuff. But this was the thing that I cut my teeth on, and it's oops, all loose, which means you have to kind of learn every chest location because any little thing could be, well, the things you're looking for. Nothing is incentivized specifically, and that was kind of a big, if I recall correctly with making these flags, that was kind of the big sore point for a lot of the kind of veteran runners, was like, oh man, if I go to Ice Cave, there's nothing there. But it also results in a lot of, like, fading certain checks. So, like, Ice Cave and Ordeals basically never got done unless you were, like, last checking them. And, I remember losing an entire race to forgetting that there was a chest north of TFC in C, because I didn't go to C often.
Yeah, it is certainly a flag set that makes you learn those chest locations. Now, important here is that fetch NPCs, so, the blacksmith or Narek with the TNT, all them, they have gear. Mm-hmm. And gear is good. Gear is very important.
It's all basically fighter gear from what I remember. It kind of incentivized the fighter, and you generally found a katana, I think near the end of it, the meta kind of changed to using a thief and then 2 mages for a lot of the major runners. And I think the finals for the winter tournament had that exact layout too.
I think a lot of runners opted for smaller parties because of the XP and gold. But we need to get through here fast. I do want to call out loose placement is forward. What does forward mean? That means that an incentive item or a key item is likely to lead to another key item in some capacity. So if you find the ship, the canal, and the oxyale, you better be thinking about C real quick.
I did not know that.
Originally it was set to chaotic, and that just puts like a blob of items up front. Anyway, I need to not go off on rants. We got to get through these things quick to keep up with our runners.
Northern Ducks.
Bahama Cardia Dock. Very nice. These are just very handy to have. And early open progression, because that's always on.
Oh, yeah.
Map and routing, nothing surprising here. There's literally nothing going on here you haven't seen every week, basically.
Yeah.
There is one trapped chest, and it contains
The
a Warmac
Masa.
and a Masa.
Oh, it's such a good one.
And it is marked, which is very nice. That's the kindest part.
Yeah.
Magic is magic. Notable, we have a power word threshold of 600, so the power word spells are all very solid. And life 1 only. You cannot use life 2 in battle. You can use it out of battle, but life 1 you can use in battle.
Oh yeah, I remember taking a lot of advantage of both. It made me actually favor the red mage, or the white mage over the red mage a lot of the times for the Healy slot. And granted, I also ended up taking the red mage over the black mage, but that's a personal preference. And
Improved fire,
clinics.
ice, lit, and harm. Also kind of nice.
Oh yeah, those solo spells, hitting as the 3s, was great. And okay, let's go to enemies with those unrunnables.
Yeah, there's unrunnables.
Yeah.
Did you know there's unrunnables in this game?
I did.
We've had a lot of meta around having no unrunnable, and this flag set shook that up a bit.
Just a little bit.
Patrolling Warmech as well. So there are 2 Warmechs in the sea.
2 Warmechs, double the fun.
Nothing interesting in the party, though. Class balance. Thief very good.
Yeah, Thief very good, Black Belt kinda meh.
Yeah, the black belt kind of took a hit in this flag set for requiring time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna apologize if anything changed along the way. I've had a JSON that I've just been pushing up and up and up. I don't remember the thief agility being 100, but man, that's a thief.
Yeah. He's so fast.
So fast.
I think this is also one of the few flag sets in the Derby that doesn't have the Thief lockpicking, so anyone depending on that is considering this is the finals flag set, if I recall correctly.
It is.
So having all the Thief lockpicking up until that point, if you're relying on it up until the finals, you need to be used to the fact that both are an option.
Thief lockpicking has been turned off for a lot of the flags.
Really?
Specifically. So I try to turn it off generally, except for like Thief Week. Anyway, equipment blurrings. Notable, it is -1 to +5 and -1 to +6. Those are just very good.
Yes.
Gear is better. Weapon elemental damage is a little bit higher than normal at 35 instead of 30. And last thing really important is increased dark penalty. It's real painful.
All right. But then without any further ado, I think it's time we get to the game. As our runners get ready to be started with the same parties. Actually, no, I noticed that Oslotto seems to have opted for the red mage over the white mage. We'll see if that pays off, Cotton.
Well, I'll switch the scene and we'll see.
Didn't I switch the scene?
I still see flags. Discord's doing me dirty.
Nah, it's...
There we go. Fire 3, fast, saber. All very good. White magic.
Reminder, when using Stream Deck, remember to take off studio mode.
I saw heal 3 and harm 3. Silver bracelet +5 in the armor shop. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Decent gear, actually. Just the weapon and armor shops in Canaria, very good.
Yeah, that Silver Axe +4 is kind of calling to me, just as a, like, oh hey, if you don't find anything, which, granted, it's very unlikely you don't find something just needing to open as much as you do. There was a lot of kind of, again, when I played these flags, which is the biggest advantage I've had in commentating this stuff. Oh hey, look, an opal. Yeah.
It was just the opal shield. It's kind of worthless.
It's better than a kick in the teeth.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it really?
I always found... Yeah.
It's money.
It is money, and there is still a shop incentive, if I recall correctly. And that is an
Yeah.
early herb in the Toph non-locked.
Well, so there is a shop item, but it's not necessarily a key item.
Yeah.
And frequently what you're going to see in this flag set is that the shop item is a duplicate of another item in the location. So you might see an item shop with 2 heal potions. That's where the shop item. It just didn't land in as anything important.
Yep, I think I remember one winter tournament race where shop item did end up being something important, where I think it was like Oxyale or something along those lines, and just like the remaining shards were kind of necessary to get in there.
Oops All Loose definitely puts the rando in rando.
It does. We have level 1 fast, so that is good for both of our runners in this case. And I imagine every other runner, because there's no way you play this without at least a black or a red. Oh hey, look, a rock!
I like geodes.
I like geodes too. They make me think of Stardew Valley with the nice little purple ones.
Didn't they make a little car called the Metro?
I don't know.
No, that was Geo. Prices in the item shop aren't that bad. 50 silver for cabins is very respectable.
50 silver, dang.
Or 50 gold, or whatever.
I was gonna say, they changed the
money.
currency when I wasn't looking.
Both of our runners doing the quick check over to the double chests in Dwarf.
Well, considering that they got herb and you have that forward progression... Oh, canoe!
And a canoe.
That's a lot. Hold on, do we have walking seed? Oh, we might have walking seed. But in terms of it having the herb and the forward progression means that herb A is going to be a decent item, and it's just kind of pushing it towards being in this direction, so...
Oh yeah, there's no free bridge in this flag.
As I always say, it's not me until everything's on fire.
That tracks, honestly.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we're back. We've got the key in the adamant. Budgemano has made the grand escape.
Yeah. So what did I miss while I was restarting? I heard key in adamants.
And a katana +3.
Ooh,
Marsh was kind in the basement.
That's gonna make.
I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's gonna make that what do you call it more impressive? The thief.
Yes.
Because tail.
When the thief gets promoted.
Yeah, tail is the only like incentive-y item that is in the NPC's pool, which kind of made again playing into the knight or thief a lot more appealing as well. Because it was always kind of a guaranteed that you were going to generally find it, generally.
Huge gold piles in Astos' closet.
Cash money, TM.
Vorpal +5 from the smith.
Woo.
So that is a real sword. It's not quite as good as that katana in my estimation, but man, they both feel real good.
Oh, yeah.
Bottle in the dwarf armory. Again, that'll just be gear or the tail. Asloda choosing to head in the direction of elf, which I understand. That magic is a thing, and also the herb.
And with 10,000 gold in pocket, that also means that you're generally going to pick up 3 or 4.
Yeah. And the ribbon from the elf prince, so that's very nice.
That's one of the... In terms of it, I found that the top kind of 3 things you wanted from the extras were tail, obviously, for the promotion material. Ribbon was nice, but you would generally find 2 or 3. And that Opal Cheerio was just, like, huge every time, because I never found an extra one of those. There only one of those in rotation, even in the random.
The Opal bracelet, there is only one. Unless you set it to a different level of treasures. If you set it to randomized treasures instead of shuffle. Dragon armor in Toflocked, Nuke and Fade both available in Elfland. Crown for sale in Elfland.
Yeah, I told you it shows up.
Yeah, that's an actual shop item.
Yeah.
And very generic armor in the armor shop. Chain neutral is still very good. I really can't say anything bad about chain armor unless it's like real negative. But
one of these days, I'm gonna learn like the default of where armor sits.
So,
white shirt
and Thor hammer, and a cube in Elf locked, very important. Oxyale in Canaria locked, also very important.
Oh yes.
I will say there's a little bit of a bad feeling about getting the cube in the sense that like it's a dead item.
Yeah.
At the moment, like it doesn't tell you anything about where to go.
It doesn't. It's nice to have in terms of like there's a lot of checks in Sky in general that are, fairly close together, decent. In terms of as a beginner, the routing on it's very nice just because it's clustered together. It's not like something like C where it's like massively apart. For the most part, in Sky and Mirage, you can generally see the direct path to pretty much every chest, which kind of made routing it a nice thing for me. I enjoy it.
Sky 2 sucks. Everywhere else in Mirage Sky is great.
Yeah. Sky 2 is the
asterisk floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say the spider room.
Yeah, there are many names that we can have for that room.
Spider room, spider room.
Does whatever a spider room does. Alright. Cabins cheaper than tents. Excellent.
You know what? We'll take it. I was gonna say, the difference between a cabin and a tent is just more health, right?
Yes, it is 60 instead of 30.
Okay, so hear me out for changes in the future. We make it so that the cabin restores like 1 spell slot per level.
I don't really feel a need for it. The house doing what it does is real nice, but it's like not super important to.
I was gonna say that is a rod from an old man, which is not an incentive item and was one of those general fade checks, so I would have lost already.
I don't know if you really fade it. If you're going to Crescent, you stop by the Sages. Like,
it was one of those things I didn't find myself going to Crescent too often. It was generally like, go to Volcano, because the armory exists and is like 20 checks right there. Whereas Crescent, I didn't find myself stopping at too much during the tournament. Now granted, I lost both of the games I had, not by a lot, but I did lose them. So, maybe that's on me.
So my general hope here is Butch just saw that crown, and I'm just hoping he doesn't choose to backtrack on it. Oslodo pushing the pace to get up to Provoca.
I was gonna say, it's that walking seed.
So, you could still check the 3 chests at Matoya. Provoca has your level 2 magic, which is very helpful, but we already know where Fade and Nuke are, and that's really all we care about in the early side of this seed.
I care about Life 1, but that's just because the life in battle is such a big thing to me in these kinds of settings, especially with the unrunnables, especially with everything else. The ability to pick up a party member. And
Cure 4 and Ruse. Both Cure 4 and Ruse at level 2 is a little bit overloaded almost. Like, you don't want to cast Ruse manually. You don't want it to use the spell slots.
In case of emergency, Ruse. But only an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, depending on the enemy, like, if there's, like, a punchy chaos and you're on the second time fighting him, a well-placed ruse might save you a Cure 4 later, but, like, it's really a negligible choice, I think.
There is the slab from Bicky, which is by itself another example of how did these items all land on NPCs?
Don't question it, shut up. Let's see, so I think from here, I gotta say the Volcano. I found myself going generally early Volcano and picking up Carry just because free shards. But that was, you know, again, I lost. I acknowledge I lost.
The
But
chime.
that-
Alright, so the cube is no longer dead.
yeah, they still need a ship.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of important. But, so here's the thing, is it's actually worth keeping that. Kind of. I mean, you still have to walk it back. I question if I would have reset out of it and just kept the knowledge that that was there.
I'd keep the chime. Granted, I would also at this point be probably assuming that, again, you're going to go to Volcano, you're likely going to find ship, and the idea of coming all the way back into, well, I mean, Inner Sea, because they have Canal at this point already, if I recall correctly.
Maybe?
Thought I saw
I don't remember
Canal
seeing it.
early. Maybe it was Canoe early.
Canoe was early, but I see a canal marked on Bud.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it was one of the checks that I might have just let slip by me. That's the thing about All Loose, is you can't just sort of predict when an item's going to show up.
Yep, you gotta pay everlasting attention, especially with the random names. What do you mean I found a crayon? What's a crayon? Toflocked had Canal. So there we go, yeah.
Okay, that explains it. Toflocked showing value again. Alright, so we're getting the route divergence of, hey, there's the bridge.
Hey! Alright, Walking Seed's over.
I mean, that's sort of just the continuation of Walking Seed. It just
Alright.
it lets you make the full circle. Alright. Oslodo trying to push a few encounters out off of the encounter table. I saw Toxic on Budge's side.
Yeah, that's not fun.
That was not so great.
That's making Volcano look scary.
So, I think the play here on Budge's side is going to be see how many of these encounters we can walk away from and get checks and then just reset when the resetting is good. Which is to say probably right after this other hairpin chest.
Yeah. Get
Alright.
out while the getting's good.
Did you know that if you hold the B button, aka cancel, you go back to regular move speed while you're walking around?
Yeah, I knew, but, like, I'm also very impatient. I play LADX where precise... Ooh, max gold! The quad F!
Hooray!
I play a lot of LADX where, like, very precise inputs are the name of the game. So, if I can't do the trick fast, it's not worth trying to slow down to do it. At least in my head.
I find that I get a little bit of input bonking, and I don't like it. Alright, Budge has headed out. Oh, there is a ribbon number 2.
Oh, yes.
And by the way, Vanilla Frosty tile. What the heck is this?
It's a nice time, that's what it is. A
true.
nice time.
An ice time, you say?
Yeah, a nice time. That nice cave.
Nice. There aren't that many checks here, though.
Dude. I was gonna say, there aren't that many, but Ice Cave tended to carry a lot of stuff, and even just so, like, 6 in one room with the fact that you've got to get shards, I found tended to make some difference. And it continues to make difference.
Alright, well that ship is going to show up at Provoca, because it's on the north side of the rivers. But that is a huge find.
Oh yeah. So
Also,
that's...
notable thing, real quick, is Budge took a couple levels before going on this excursion, and is a little bit better equipped for it in that regard.
Yeah. Oh, it's a call. I wouldn't fault what either of our runners have done at this point. Ooh, skipping the incentive chests. Or what would normally be the incentive chests.
I understand.
Yeah, as I say, I also understand it at the point. You found Ship, which is great. At this point, you've got Rod, you've got Chime, and Cube. You've got Key, and you've got Loot. You're pretty much in go mode. You just need shards at this point.
I don't think we have the loot yet.
Looks like they have loot. It's on the tracker that they apparently have loot. Or at least their own trackers, they appear to have loot.
Oh, they must have gotten it from one of those marsh checks that we missed.
Yeah. Granted, I have the magic of seeing their normal streams as the restreamer. I have unlimited power, and a cat that wants attention. And one of these can be yours for the low, low price of joining the FFR server. Joke's on you, it's my cat. Because if we check into their inventory next time they pause... I say,
yeah, I saw it on
as if you could see.
side. I saw it on Osloto's side, so...
Yeah, so yeah, they're basically in go mode. It's just gonna be, you know, finding a decent bit to grind on. It looks like Osloto's taken a peds in Volcano. No, you get down from that keyboard. We've had enough technical problems today. We don't need you eating things.
So, level 7 on Osloto's party, which is, I mean, kind of a thing with these winter tournament flags, is with the XP scaling so low.
Yeah.
It is really hard to get early levels. But once you've got shards, it picks up quick.
Oh, yeah. And at this point, they're basically looking for check density, because check density is going to be shards, which is experience, which is everything else. I mean, again, I've mentioned that I'd probably take carry at this point, but that's just me. At this point, the best weapon they have is the katana, so they do want the tail, so if they end up finding some of the NPC turn-in items, they're probably going to try, just because obviously having access to that ninja and that knight is going to make a big difference. But we shall see. We might see them end up diving it if it ends up somewhere like Lefane. Ooh, TNT.
TNT. You breaking things over there again?
No, I've got a cat on my lap, which makes reaching stream buttons hard. I'm just breaking everything. It's great.
So 2 ribbons and a little bit of luck, and Osloto only loses 1 to the toxic.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna make a big difference. They haven't found life yet. Wait, was that also a vanilla worm tile?
Vanilla Grey Worm, yeah.
Yeah, ooh, crystal.
I like the Bane Sword, too. The Bane Sword is helpful.
Can the Bane Sword be equipped by Thief?
No, but it could be equipped by Ninja.
Okay, that was basically what I was wondering.
Yeah, it's not really a good swinging weapon, unfortunately.
It's a good death spell.
Yeah, you hold it in the air like you just don't care. By the way, Vanilla Fire... Oh yeah, it's not shuffled tiles. Of course I'm an idiot.
Well, there we go.
Hey!
There's so many vanilla tiles. We just breezed over it real quick.
I mean, being fair to myself, I just thought, hey, it's the Winter Tournament flag set. I know that. I've commentated that like a dozen times.
Everything must be terrible.
And completely forgot that was a thing.
I was gonna say it's cat chat time. Do you have any pets, Saracen?
I have a dog.
Yeah, dogs are better than cats in the being good during streams regard.
Budge having thoughts. He had a moment there of, do I really need to go for the incentive chest as
Yeah.
he's standing next to the exit stairs? And sure feels like it almost.
Yep. Because we'll see what that TNT ends up turning into, but otherwise, I think both of our runners... Osloto obviously needs to pick up the canal from Toph, so as he gets through the various lock chests, he'll end up getting there. Unless he finds Floater in Deep Volcano, which would be really funny.
It would be hilarious, because he's going to have to walk it out.
Yeah. Well, walk it out or beat Carry. Beat Carry is an option. Doesn't mean
not in the current set of resources.
Nah.
Being down the Black Mage.
You just gotta believe in him. Gotta send him all your power like a spirit bomb. He'll pull it off. He's part of the OJ Power Hour. He's got all that power for a whole hour. And hey, that's a light axe. Oh wait, he didn't pick the white mage.
The light axe is equipable by the fighter, and it actually is an okay weapon.
Mm-hmm. It's just the cast on it's not great. Or, I say with access to that bridge, we've got Budgemano finally grabbing everything here from Matoya.
Except for the crystal turn-in? Oh, Budge didn't get the crystal?
Apparently not.
Oh, Hal.
Or he forgot that he had it, or doesn't care. He's like, nah, I'm gonna take an unpromoted party, it'll be fine.
It will be fine. You know, Budge is a high-quality runner. Now, I should call out, the reason that we have Budgemano and Osloto on stream tonight is that they are the current first and second place in the standings for the Platy party.
I was gonna say, is Budge first?
Budge first, yep.
Alright, Budge first. So how does the scoring work for the Platy party? I have no idea, I just know people have points.
It's kind of like Mario Kart points.
Okay.
So you get first place, you get the most points, second place a little bit less, third place a little bit, you know, that way.
Yeah.
We're not using the bucket system that we have for some of our other events. Things like Fall League use the sort of a bucket system where it's based on time from finish of other runners.
Ooh, Life 2 and Exit at 5.
Life 2 is going to be Red Mage learnable.
Ooh. Exit not. And Temper at 5.
Temper is very good as well. It's a little higher than I like seeing it, but it's also just important.
It is at the exact worst slot because it's the hardest one to get to and you need to spend it multiple times.
Pro rings for sale for under 5k is real nice as well.
Oh yeah. That little bit of protection from death. Especially when our runners have like 2 ribbons now. I think one from Incentive, and they both grabbed the one from wherever it was.
It's worth calling out that the Pro Ring is 8 base absorb, so like it's 10. It's real solid. 10 absorb is a lot.
Oh, what did I say? He's doing it. He's going for carry. Called it.
Oh, you're gonna use the Invis 2 casts and hope. This is a very low-level party for carry. We don't have a lot of resources, but Invis 2 to buff up our evasion tank.
Who needs...
And then fast.
I was gonna say, who needs good equipment when you have plus 100 agility? You'll just dodge every attack. It'll be fine.
More or less.
That was a dragon sword.
The Fire 2 comes out, and that's a little concerning. Now, what's also very concerning is the Thief has one of the ribbons, but not the Red Mage. So, just, you know, a little bit of concern there. Was that our last nuke? It was probably our last nuke. Fighter's still swinging pretty decently. Honestly, this carry hasn't been very threatening, which is great.
She's just menacing. You need at least 2 people to block her.
The Fire 2 taking out the Red Mage is a little concerning, but honestly, I think we might have this.
Oh, yeah.
We're going drink strats. And carries down. Okay.
Hey, what did I say? Look, never punished.
Alright, I honestly need to believe more often.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Budge checking out Earth Cave. having done Sarda and Titans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as mentioned, our players are basically in go mode at this point. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of like get the shards. The shard go mode of open all of the stuff. They have access to all of the fiends except for Kraken, which we obviously know there's nothing behind Kraken they absolutely need. They can go in without tail or any other specific equipment. It would be nice to have tail, obviously, with that katana, but if
no,
they
the
want to make the...
Oxyale was found. The Oxyale was in Canaria Castle.
Oh. Well then,
So,
yeah, they just
yeah.
literally have everything and there is no downside. It's just which one takes the more enjoyable route, basically.
Now, real big call out here. Oslodo still needs to find that canal, or the canal in Tove.
Yeah.
So that's a real important thing. And there's quite a few things still open, but none of them are real like dungeons.
Hmm. Ah. And Opal 3 from Matoya. That's a good pickup.
That is a huge pickup.
Again, that's in like top 3 of the extra items you end up getting from these NPC turn-ins. For me, was like Opal was the big one because it's like, okay, armor anybody can use, we're in.
Yeah, and at +3, that's 40 absorb, so it's a real good piece of armor.
Not to say, you know, the X-Cal's not bad, but the X-Cal falls off. Oh, there's Floater.
That you know, that is the kind of place that I would expect Caleb to find a floater, and Caleb is not here tonight.
There's that
Which
Oxyale.
is like, you know, Caleb, the man who practiced Winter Tournament a million times, was in 3rd place in the Platy party and opted not to come in for this one. So,
Aww.
yeah.
Sad face. But hey, it's all good.
Yeah, that Caleb has had more things show up in Earth for his races than I think is ethical, because at this point he's just like, I'm gonna go here because I'm an idiot, and then it turns out that it was the right play all along, and it's just like, what is happening? That was a power bonk from Narek.
And a Vorpal 5.
Yes, we knew about the Vorpal 5. Budge had seen that earlier, so we're good there. Also notable is with Budge finding the floater already.
Yeah.
And having the canoe, that means that the bottle and the slab are both on the table.
Now, if this weren't Winter Tournament flags, I'd be like, well, I have floater, I'm near Earth, I'm gonna go do ordeals before I cash that floater in, just because it's gonna save me a little bit of time, and I'm going that direction anyway. But that's just me and my new, what I consider meta strats of, what if I just did ordeals before I got in the air?
Like, you know, I think that ordeals being a very common early location was something that was like super relevant meta like a year or two ago, and then these flags just did not play well with that.
Yeah, they're just like, what about, why? There's like 5 things in there, you don't need it.
Alright, is there a better name for that room than the Dwarven Junk Pile? I always call it Dwarf Armory, but I appreciate the disdain for the dwarves.
I was gonna say, I think I remember people calling it Dwarf Treasury.
Yeah, some people do. I mean, it doesn't have as many names as, like, Sky 2.
I was gonna say, I'm getting word, Budgemano apparently fought a boss? I'm not seeing anything. Did you notice it?
It's probably turned to dust. Alright, there is the canal for Oslodo. Can finally escape the Circle C.
Yes, yes. I was gonna say, in terms of their shard counts, as far as I can tell, Oslodo has 9. Which is... I was gonna say, not the best place you want to be, but that's about right. For...
Yeah, at this point, I would say Budge has a bit of a lead, just because of the Earth play, and better overall routing of
Yeah.
volcano into ice kind of things.
Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say,
but
if I
yeah.
recall, he just dipped Volcano after losing the 2 and just hasn't bothered going back. Now, granted, at most you're looking at Carrie's shards. There wasn't anything major down there. With the amount of stuff he has, TNT being Vorpal is considering that Katana's going to be a better option on the Thief anyway, assuming that they get the promotion. The other thing it would be is, like, if they don't find the trapped Massa chest, a fighter option for Chaos, but realistically, I think they both shift into, like, just ninja offense at this point.
I think they put the Vorpal on the fighter, they put the Katana on the thief after promotion, and they'll enjoy it the whole way through.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Osloto hits up our good friends at the Melman continent and is very sad to learn that he will never learn Exit.
Yep. White Mage is better, I tells ya. Is you take just white and red. It'll be fine.
So both of our runners, I'm going to just call this out because this is something that's different from me. Both of our runners translated the slab before they had a reason to go to Lefay.
Well,
What I mean by that is, so when you translate the slab, it's no longer in your inventory. It goes away.
yeah.
And to me, what happens in my very goldfish brain is that I forget that I ever found it. And that means that Lefane, the worst check in this flag set, and generally the worst check in the game, is non-existent to me.
Yeah.
And so...
I think
it is
I went to
bold to
Lefane
me to
0
translate.
times.
Well, so there's that element, yes. But also, this is a flag set where you weren't guaranteed access to Lefane in the first place because you never know when you'll find that floater with
Yeah.
the all-loot setting. And the fact that Budge found the floater is just astounding to me in the first place. Like, over half of these seeds in the tournament were floaterless.
Yep. I remember
So-
learning cheeky dock strats with the canoe, and people being very excited that I learned them.
So the secret Matoya River dock is the best dock in the game.
It is.
And ooh, Dragon Sword +5, actually pretty good, by the way.
Mhm.
Osloto's just resetting out of it though. Don't
Well,
care. It's
is-
fine.
I mean, he's got a Vorpal and the Katana already, and at this point I think he's probably leaning... He's got every trade item except for the tail. So, at this point I think it's just like, yeah, he's gonna get it at some point, whether he goes to Lefane or that, and it's gonna be necessary anyway, so at that point, does it matter?
Okay, he's gonna go back in for the Dragon Sword. The reason that the Dragon Sword is good is that it is equipable on the Thief,
Yes.
and at +5, it's very reasonable as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It also will absolutely maul Tiamat.
Yes.
So,
yeah, because this flag set had, like, massively tuned up weakness damage, if I recall correctly.
well, I wouldn't say massively tuned up. It's 35 instead of a pretty default 30.
I thought it
There's
was
a
up to
rune
60.
stick from the fairy.
Why did I think it was like 60?
I don't know. It's 35. I definitely looked at it before we started. Alright. Budge. Checking the desert grinds. And man, it's kind of a long walk for sandwiches. You're gonna get hungry by the time you get to the sandwiches. That's a real problem.
Yeah.
And
there's
directly into Fun Police,
I was
yes.
gonna say. I know some of the memes, and Fun Police is high on that list.
And Osloto is fading Earth. That is a decision. I actually, alright, so hear me out. Earth sucks. It's a lot of steps for very low density.
Oh,
There is the tail at Lefane, though.
oh, that's painful.
So you have to really commit yourself to the understanding that you're likely to not promote if you don't get the floater.
Yeah.
But that's a big oof.
Yeah. That's one of those things where I'm like, well, Budge just won the race.
You don't know, like,
I don't know. Toph could still be terrible. But just in terms of it, now all of Budge Mana's equipment's online, which means that I can foresee them literally walking through stuff. Considering the low level for fast in terms of casting, that means that Ninja's going to be an extra fast option, which, now gives him 2. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that I'm pretty leaning for that. Now, granted, he doesn't have the TNT and the Power Bonk. That's, I think, the biggest sort of, what do you call it? Divider between the two of them here. And we've got Oslo going to Sky, which is an interesting choice.
To me, it's a very reasonable choice because you have 2 nuke casters.
Yeah.
You have the resources to do it. You have both of the key items required.
Yeah.
And it's literally like a fifth of the chest.
There's a Massa chest.
There is a Massa chest that requires the floater.
Oof.
And Budge sees it, resets out to go promote, and probably come back and get the experience.
The man's level 12. There's no way he's taking a Warmac.
You'd think that. So Warmac doesn't really have that much HP, and Budge has a lot of stuff going on right now. If you put on the X-Cal here,
Yeah.
The X-Cal, you've got the Ruse Stick, you've got ribbons, you've got so much good equipment right now. Like, Budge is armed to the teeth, and that really, to me, says this Warmech is on the table. Oh, gonna wait. Gonna at least check other shards, maybe.
I mean, yeah, that checks out.
But to me, that Warmech is attainable. I would be going for it.
I mean, I'm stupid, so I would go for it, but also, I acknowledge this is level 12, and if he rolls a nuclear, that's just it.
Only one way to find out. Maybe it's putting that on the back burner for now.
Yeah, there's no reason to go for it until you've got the shards, and, like, maybe need the levels.
Yeah, because with the promotion in hand, you've got plenty of resources available.
Oh, yeah.
And, maybe the answer is just we're gonna go get our shards and then do that as a cap off.
Our runners high-fiving and Oslo being like, hey, wait a minute, where did you get a tail?
Well, you see, when you love an Earth Cave very much... Alright. Budge being a little bit fast and loose with the resources here, trying to get a couple of encounters before obviously exiting and saving in a house. And I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, right? That's my strategy. What are you doing? I'm going to take a couple of levels, leave, and come back.
And just have those couple extra shards, or the extra charges of things for the trip up.
I say, if you tried turning it off and on again, the experience strategy.
There's the third ribbon. Mm-hmm. And a Flamesword +5, actually huge. Flamesword +5 is endgame quality. Yes, that fighter really needs 2 ribbons.
Yeah, just put the second ribbon on, it'll be fine. He's just trying to wear pigtails, it's fine.
But yeah, that Flamesword +5 is a real endgame sword for an unpromoted party.
Mm-hmm. Is it considering we... Here, you know what? Hold on. I have the power. I don't need to rely on others. I can go in here to this tracker and give them both... Wait, no, is Crown just that light that I can't see it?
They both had the crown. It didn't look like it was lit up.
Yeah.
They in fact both fought Astos. It was the X-Cal.
Yeah. Why is... Yeah. Something has happened to my version of the site. I'm not going to question it. I'm going to leave goats to deal with stuff. Probably more from that technical difficulty from earlier.
I'm glad we got past that.
I'm also glad I'm not dead. I'm pretty sure everything exploded and I was on fire. Yeah.
All right. Both runners have all 3 ribbons, which is super nice. It is much needed safety as we look forward to the long Topher ahead of us.
Gonna say both ribbon, or all 3 ribbons, opal bracelet, X-Cal and a katana, the Vorpal rolling up for +5. It's a massacre of good gear.
Yeah.
Dude.
One thing I'll also call out is Budge is making very fast work of catching up to Aslodo in terms of sky searching. If I were in Budge's shoes, I would start skipping horrible chests like the Banesword chest. Because I don't like that chest. It's a lot of walking, and there he goes, right on past it. One chest after going down the entire room to then walk all the way back. It's horrible.
I mean, when you're sitting with literally every chest or every check in inventory, like, you don't care at this point. You just want the high density, and you'll take a fiend. Like, if they had something missing, then maybe, like, we'll probably see, obviously, Oslaughter try to check it, because Floater is still on the table, but...
Oslaughter already did check it, and
yeah.
it was probably...
Aww. Sage. Squishy little black mage. Woo.
Sun +3, also a good sword.
Considering he hasn't done Earth yet, it's good to at least pick it up.
Yeah, and I would consider putting the Flame or the Sun, either one of them, onto the Red Mage, just to have something to swing for the Red Mage. It's equipable, you may as well, right?
Say, skipping the spider room entirely. Budge at the point, I think he's probably got enough shards to be like, yeah, unless there's like 3 chests in a room, I don't care.
Yeah, and that's exactly that sort of prioritization I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, being fair, there were shards in that floor.
Yeah.
So, yeah. However, hey, look, it's the other katana.
What about second katana? Come on, let the thief dual wield. That's all I ask in life.
That's actually why the double hit growth flag exists. So first off, the thief had 0 place in vanilla.
Yeah.
But the other thought was, hey, dual wielding is like a canonical thing for thieves in like all the other games.
It is.
And the only way that we could emulate that was by doubling the hit growth.
You know what? I like it. Coral 5.
+5. What is this raft of amazing weapons that you're seeing?
Hey, they're -1 to +5. Like, come on. They're gonna roll well.
Yeah, but like, every weapon is rolling well except that X-Cal. I haven't seen any bad weapons that were like notable names, you know?
I mean, here, watch this. The Massa will be -1 if they ever try to open it.
Aslodo did equip the Dragon Sword onto the fighter for this Tiamat.
Woo! 121 damage, let's go!
That's very reasonable for a pre-fast. Ow.
No, not Ash.
So, we are chucking that Bane Sword up in the air with the Thief, now that we remember we have it, which is good. We're keeping the Red Mage alive. The Bane Sword is ineffective. The Dragon Sword is very effective.
It's super effective.
Yeah, 299 and like 465 from the Dragon Sword. We're doing real damage.
Ooh.
Thunder comes out, very scary, takes out the Black.
I mean, we didn't need him. It's fine. We got nukes on the Red Mage. See, look, it's fine.
We kind of wanted the experience on the Black Mage, truth be told.
It's fine. It's
Bud's
fine.
coming up just behind. Osloto is like 2 shards off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw that. Like, oh, that is very close to Shard Go mode. If only he had a floater.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The real problem is he still needs levels. He just got like 16.
Yeah.
And Exit was not learnable by the Red Mage. There's a T-Rex.
Oh,
We
hello.
take those.
Yeah.
We still have the Dragon Sword on the fighter, by the way.
Hmm.
So T-Rexes are dragons, if you didn't know.
I mean, they look dragony.
Yeah, it's kind of a lizard category more than anything.
I was gonna say,
All right, there's 17. Like,
I think
again,
this is
this
the last
experience
shards
thing.
Budge needs.
that is very possible.
There's 6 per row, right?
Yes.
And the last row should only have 4 in it because of the 28, right?
That checks out.
And the big fiends are worth 4.
Yes, the air orb and the water orb are both 4.
So then, this is the last of Budge's shards. This is like go-go mode as soon as Tia's down.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm. And with him in first place, that will make him the Platypus Supreme?
Platymus Prime.
Ah!
Current Platymus Prime, I believe, is Fryteeth.
I was gonna say, I look forward to Budge's amazing platypus icon replacing the duck one from his stream.
That is one of the other things, is our top 3 in the Platy Party will get their special icons custom made by Dark Moon. And let me tell you, Dark Moon, like, the ducks are all really good, right?
Yeah.
Every duck icon turns out nice. The platypi are like on another level for some reason.
It's
And
I think it's
maybe-
the upgrade from 8 to 16 bits.
Maybe, but I think here's what I think is really the case, is like there aren't a lot of people who go for the platypi. There's not a lot of people who have them. And everyone who has gotten it is like generally just really into the Final Fantasy series and goes a little bit further on the ask than the folks getting the ducks do for some reason. And so like that's why mine is a Platypus Oron. And Shimbabi's was a sage from Final Fantasy 14. Like there's a little bit of push on that.
Yeah, so if I ever do it, I have to pick a Final Fantasy character so that I keep up the meme.
I mean,
Nah, I'm gonna do me.
If you somehow got like an LADXR version of a platypus, that would be amazing.
Oh, it would be so.
Or
Oh,
of the duck.
it's a +1
The moth is even
massa.
+1. Get out of here, large knife.
I was gonna say, what is the massa but a large knife?
Very true, as it is equipable by everybody. That kind of makes it a knife by default, I think.
Okay, so we've got some spell pickups. We've got Oslo dipping into C just for the last couple of shards that he needs. I wonder if he is gonna do Mermaid Floor. Probably hoping to find them out of a chest rather than run at that, and obviously looking for the floater. That's a very big thing right now. Stopping him from getting tail, which he really wants.
So if I'm in Osloto's position, part one, he's part of Bubbles Soda Company, just like me, and
Yes.
therefore is very much sold on the idea of carbonating bubbles when it's possible.
Yeah.
And along with that, there's a lot of chests and not a lot of danger on the mermaid floor. As Budge lands the airship and is working on a sub-hour entry into Topher.
I love it.
As soon as this bat gets out of the way.
Oh yeah, so I've been playing Lich's Revenge for the first time for my settings, and I need to know Bubble Soda Company's stance on zombie mermaids and carbonation.
Not every mermaid is suitable for bottling.
Uh-huh.
The unrunnable phantom.
Boo! I'm here.
Get out of here.
We also saw the defense sword in Mermaid's side, so that's a pretty big pickup.
Sure is.
There we go.
There's the carbonation for a silver bracelet and some cash. There was a shard. That's good news. I don't know if it was enough shards, but
I think it needs
we're
about
going.
2.
Yeah, I think Osloto needed 2. There was at least 1 there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was all that he needed. Okay, we're checking the incentive room. Budge, meanwhile, just charging through this long Topher, all ready to Lich's floor.
This is where you let out a battle cry and just run in a straight line.
All right, there was a second shard on the mermaid floor, so I think that's it for Osloto, and off and away we go.
Yep. His on-stream tracker has him at 28, so that is his go, and he's going with the non-promoted party. We're going to see the difference between the two now.
I mean, you do what you gotta do, right?
You do what you gotta do.
Do 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 do.
Phenomena.
Do 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 do.
Phenomena.
Do 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 do. There was apparently a purple carpet that got, cleaned out, and we're on to Carrie's floor.
Yeah.
All right, Carrie's down. It's real fast Topher tonight. There's the 1 hour mark. It was like 2 minutes for Budge to get all the way to Kraken's floor. But unrunnable water packs are actually a little bit frightening, especially when you roll 396 on your nuke and it didn't kill one.
Oh, the water's unrunnable. It's the worst.
Yeah, and Ice 3 was the same level as Nuke, so, why are you going to take it? No, you're not.
No.
Most well, some runners like to because of specifically waters and the chance of getting the max damage of 420 and more likely to not be resisted and all that.
Hold on. Max damage 420?
Yes, I know. Blaze it.
Nice.
Yeah, Ice 3 is the highest potential damage spell in the game. And that's worthwhile. And then when a monster has weakness, they don't get their base MDef value added. So, you get fewer resists on it.
This is the worst water floor I've seen ever with the unrunnable water packs.
So the unrunnable water pack is, a huge resource sink. And then on top of that, this is just the bad part of the encounter table in general for Budge.
Yeah.
It's hard to plan, right? Yeah, Dark Moon calling out, we've seen worse, the waters aren't casting magic.
They're just lightly lapping at your toes.
Goat's calling out last week's triple floor water unrunnable garbage. Yeah, there was something that cast thunder as a first skill. It was real bad. We lived through it. It's fine. Uh,
I'm still standing, feeling like a little kid.
I want to say it was Gershark Big Eye was the problem pack, and it was the Big Eyes that had the Thunder or Blizzard or whatever. It was nasty. Nasty.
Biz nasty, the best kind.
Yeah, I think that was the Monday race last week, which I actually got in on. I don't do those often.
I just noticed that massa's on that white mage, and I love it.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that when Budge grabbed that massa, it was just for the experience and for the memes.
I mean, I'm all for the memes. You gotta do it for the memes. Don't let your memes be dreams.
Osloto, meanwhile, also into Topher, but we're at the Phantom Tile, which is a very different location than fighting Tia 2.
Mm-hmm. Now that said, everything could explode again, and it not be my fault this time.
It's just a little stream death. It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of necrotic damage. It's fine.
Oh no, it's all that Lich's Revenge you've been playing.
It has been a lot of Lich's Revenge. I did not know what Lich's Revenge was until I threw it into this month's flags for the AP, and I have regret everything about that choice.
Lich's Revenge is a fantastic Halloween-themed flag, and I put it into the Duck Weekly every time Halloween rolls around. Budge about to pull Chaos. Osloto about to slay Lich 2. There it goes. Alright. Goodbye, Lich 2.
Alright,
Chaos
let's get this one. Fasten up, tempering up, curing up. Nope, getting the white shirt and Roostic. Alright, so we're leaning heavy into the fighter with the Excalibur. I didn't see them swap the Massa onto it, which is an interesting choice. Now, granted, it's gonna work with this party considering the amount of health. Fasting the Ninja as well, continuing to temper the fighter though. Not a terrible decision. White shirt, getting up to those 6 stacks of evasion is gonna be a great time. Dude, a nice miss on that Teef. And oh no, went with the Vorpal for 688. Spicy. And this is why Vorpal is the best sword. 691 on that Vorpal, 357 on that Katana. A nuke, more temper, or fade, more temper going out. It's gonna be a good time. I don't think this chaos is gonna last too much longer. What do you think?
I think this is, barring some fantastically terrible RNG.
Well, I mean, that's one Bane. I'm the only non-ribbon user.
We lost a Black Mage. Oh no. GG, Budgemano finishes.
Yes.
Apparently a timer was slightly off. It happens sometimes. That's a 104.47 according to racetime.gg.
It do be. And did they finish first of all of our platypi?
Indeedly doodly.
So,
which I think puts Budge at like first, second, and first for the finishes this party.
Yeah. So
feel free to fact check me on that. Dark Moon of the spreadsheet.
Dark Moon of the spreadsheet. Our almighty lord. Statistics.
GG Budgemano, who's joined us in the booth.
Hey, welcome Platypus Prime.
Hey guys, thank you. That seed was something else at the beginning, but like all the winter tourney seeds, they kind of, once you get towards the end, they get zippy. You get the level, then it goes.
Oh yeah. This is so like, I didn't see too much. Great, everything lit on fire, and it was my fault. So yeah. But what would you say was the worst part of the seed on this one?
It felt like the bridge and the ship just never came. I was looking for the ship for so long, and it sort of forced you in this inner sea loop. Yeah, I think it did. And then I think I got ship out of ice, and that finally opened things up. But it felt like the beginning was pretty slow going to just get out of the inner sea and get transportation.
Oh yeah. Because my bet was going to be the unrunnable waters on Kraken floor.
Well, that
just
was unfortunate, but it actually worked out as a little mini Topher grind. I don't think I really needed it, but
yeah,
you know, I got some levels, and
yeah,
they weren't so bad.
Oh yeah, and I think Saracen had a question about you translating slab initially with no initial requirement to go there. Granted, it turned into tail, and I was all for your plan.
So, all right, my comment is the slab no longer exists in my brain once it's no longer in my inventory. So if I don't have the means to go to Lefane, it's very hard for me to want to translate the slab.
I've never weaned myself from using a like click tracker, so I
Oh.
translate the slab and I got it there, and I know it's there.
Yeah, I could see their streams. Saracen could.
Well,
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I don't use the inventory. I would forget things. I need the little visual reminders, like, oh, I got this. I can go there.
Azloto down to thief and fighter.
He'll be fine. He won't be fine. Someone get him a burn heal.
This is an experience. So does have a defense sword, does have a power bomb.
Yeah, good combination of things to have. It means that there's still a chance. It's just going to be a rough time. I'd also already be swapping probably the fighter into slot 3 at this point, just for the chance for the cheeky miss thing that I don't quite fully understand.
So, Budge, how did you feel about returning to the winter tournament flags these months on?
I think some time away, what distance makes the heart grow fonder, maybe? I don't know. Having some time off and coming back, they were kind of fun again. I liked it. A little bit of redemption here. Didn't do as well in the winter tournament as I was hoping. So this was good to get back in here and kind of satisfy the loot goblin.
I was going to say, having also played the winter tournament, what would your advice be to the other ducks for playing this? Because I have the advantage of having played them myself, and I know I quite enjoyed them and what you needed to do, but what advice would you give the ducks for this, for the ones that do make it to the finals and have to run this?
I think one nuance with these flags you have to keep in mind is the levels are going to come late, and it's not really worth your time to try and grind early, even with vanilla tiles. You really have to wait till you get the shards.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the best advice, but I was really coming in this seed looking to skip boxes in some places. I didn't do too much, but I totally skipped Sky 2.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do the eye chest. So there were a couple things. I'm like, all right, I'm going to play the odds here, especially since I got all the Fiend Dungeon access items pretty early.
Yeah.
So look for a little, it's a great advice for ducklings, but look for little chances to gamble and try and get an advantage.
Oh, Tia has Cure 4. Oh,
no.
That's painful.
It's pain incarnate.
There needs to probably be some power bonking on this party, because I know that the power bonk exists.
I wonder if Osloto's slightly forgotten that he had it. Ooh, nuke. Oh, he's reset out.
Yeah,
I don't blame that one.
we go again.
Yep.
He didn't find a tail.
No,
he didn't find the floater. He didn't go to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
these flags really, that night once you promote was tanky.
Yeah. I think I was mentioning that at the beginning with the how the NPC incentives work. Just kind of incentivizing all that night equipment is like, just take a night. Like, you will have the stuff so long as you're clearing enough of the seed.
Yeah, Thief Fighter is the party for these flags.
Yeah.
And then pick 2 mages, but...
I like red-white, but no one's on my team on that one.
Was it 100 AGI in the Winter Tourney flags?
I feel like it was 80 in the Winter Tournament flags, but apparently it's 100 according to the preset flag that was added in, so I don't know.
So, well, all right, I'm going to be honest. What I have been doing is I've had a JSON export of the flags, and I've been just rolling it forward as the versions change. So I'm going to hit the preset button real quick and double check. It was 100 on the preset.
Alright. Plus the 25,
Yeah.
I have 100 AGI Thief. That's, even with the unrunnables, that's an instant take.
Absolutely. And, yeah, I don't think we went over Blursings because we got a little bit of a late start because of some technical issues that were happening in the race room.
Yeah.
But that knight had what, MDef and strength. It was just a little bit more fighter than normal fighter.
Yeah.
And
If I recall, that was like the versions for all of them was just a little bit more, except for that Black Mage having the elemental magics in slot 8.
and vitality. The black mage had vitality.
It's fine. He likes it.
One thing I saw here, the reason I took the white mage over the red mage, I saw they had the plus HP, so I figured I was pretty good odds going to get above a nuke roll.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
I was just saying, no wonder Oslo bounced. He's like only level 20.
These flags were very approachable at that level.
Yeah. Well, I
It's a
mean, some of
matter
them are
utilizing
17. Like, it's low 20.
Yeah, I think that these flags are still approachable at these levels, especially with the tools available. The problem is the lack of promotion and the lowish level means you don't really have the swords you.
Yeah. You want good sword. Big hit 'em stick.
So, Budge, I gotta ask. As you're thinking forward as the new Platypus Prime, what are you thinking of requesting for your new platypus avatar that Darkmoon will be providing?
I don't even know. I didn't let myself think ahead of what I might pick, so I gotta think what I might do here. I
We've
gotta see
had
what other
some.
people on the server have. Give me some ideas. I see you have. What's
I've got the Oron.
Yeah, 10.
I mean,
We'll see. I got my little.
I say we just
little-
up the Kappa. Just go full Kappa.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking that. Or I might do the Moogle. I probably would have done a Moogle if I think Jay and Hate already had Moogle ducks when I got mine. So I didn't do that, but
See,
maybe I'll
I'm
beat
looking.
them, the Moogle platypus.
I'm looking forward to when your stream now has the platypus where the duck goes,
Yeah, I'll take that.
or
Upgrade.
both. Hear me out, both.
Both are good. Both
Yeah.
are good. No, it's fine. Let's say I played myself out of the next one, but these are always fun tournaments.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of good camaraderie, and people have been around a while. Getting the flags, even if we sort of know what they're going to be, but sort of getting the flags, not knowing what they are, you got 10 minutes to figure it out, pick your party and go. It's just fun.
Figure it out.
I think
team.
that bit you a lot more last week. Like everybody had some surprise from those flags.
Yeah, you gotta read them carefully.
That one was a little cruel for 10 minutes time.
The strongest ability of a platypus prime is, or platypus prime, is reading comprehension.
Just read the direction. That's the...
Seriously, reading the manual, reading the flags, very important. And
I was gonna say, if you want to be platypus prime, you gotta go to IKEA and build as much furniture as you can.
yeah, so looking at where we're at here, as Lodo back to Kraken 2, where the nuclear comes out and leaves 2 party members sub 100. A little scary. Little scary. I think that's actually what took out the red mage and the black mage. Well, follow-up punch as well. But the black mage at least probably ate it to that nuclear on the first real dive.
Mhm.
And we're trying to heal up.
Yeah, we need that health because the moment he pulls out another one, or just decides he's got 8 tentacles for hitting, is the time when we lose stuff. Thankfully, those ribbons come in handy. Mark doesn't need to see; he's fine. He's got a low brim hat for a reason.
So, shoutouts again. Ink actually is a frightening skill in this flag set because of the improved dark flag. Like, if that black mage was actually somebody who needed to swing a sword for their job, which they are not, that would actually be a real problem because it's as bad or potentially worse than slow.
Oof.
The potential worse is that there's fewer meta ways to clear it, whereas you were targeting fast in the first place, you just cast it again. But yeah, Kumo in chat asking about that tail. The tail was at Lefane and the floater was in Earth, so
Yeah, it was a treat. treat for the senses.
So, Budge, I don't know if you were planning on doing a watch back of this. We did have a small stream explosion.
Yeah.
As you were headed down towards Marsh.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a drop off there, but
Yeah.
There wasn't
Gotta
much
love when
running out
the
there much.
gotta
Just
love when the visual encoders decide, nah, not today.
you guys doing the restream.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. It's some black magic. I don't even know how it happens.
It
See.
well, you see, every time I'm set up for restream, I gotta go find myself a good eye and sacrifice it to chaos so that things don't explode. And today I forgot.
Keep up on your sacrifices.
Yeah. Because there's also user error located between chair and keyboard of me pressing the wrong buttons of the stream deck, so that's also a fun time.
well, that was much less of a thing. But
Oh, yeah.
I mean, webcac is always a very classic issue.
Yeah. Like, the end, we don't need more, it's fine. Granted, after doing 3 weeks of these in a row and prepping for them, I'm looking forward to time off.
Hey, I appreciate you coming in to do all of this stuff. I appreciate Goats Pirate coming in late notice, just being like, hey, do y'all have a tracker? Or
Oh,
do you
yeah.
need a tracker? And just hopping in and doing it, because this is like infinitely harder to do tracking on while doing anything else. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a tracker.
It was 2 weeks of me, like, stumbling around trying to do everything, so I very much appreciate Goats Pirate coming in. And honestly, if you're watching, we definitely need more volunteers for doing stuff just to make sure that, we get these kinds of things going regularly and smoothly to the degree that we do. Because, I mean, I've got little things like, the cheering and things like that are easier to do on my side. I got them all set up as well as I can, but, when you're stuck with 3 or 4 jobs, it can become a bit of a hassle. So every extra pair of hands, even if you're doing something as light as tracking, which just is, paying attention to the race, make sure that, the right little buttons get clicked up, it's a huge deal for everything, and we never underestimate just how much we appreciate that.
Yeah, love the volunteers in our community. Love everybody who comes out to help, which, I mean, frankly, we've got a solid core of people who come into race, but also come into the booth and do tracking and do restreams. So, it's a great community overall, all around. And if you are interested in any of these things, there are always people who are happy to help you learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whatever it is you're interested in doing, we'll teach you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know a lot, but I will still teach you what little I know. Sometimes
right.
head empty.
The chaos is happening.
I was gonna say, Lightning 3, not too bad. We've tempered up as much as we can. I think we have one more cast. Yep. And we fasted the Thief Fighter. We're leaning on that fighter, and that red sword, I think, is Flame 5 or Sun 3. Probably Sun 3.
I think it's the Sun Sword, yeah.
Yeah. I'm slowly starting to identify swords by bit. We know we gave the dragon to Tony there. Do what you can with it. We're not too concerned about getting him up. That fighter has just so much more beef to him.
We have so little to do on this Black Mage now. It's very unfortunate.
He exists. Poor Mark.
Hey, target is a valuable thing. It's kind of a weird slot to be the target.
Yeah.
Was that 2 hits for 17 from the fighter? That's concerning.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. A little bit of fire. There goes Mark. He's enjoying
Bye,
his dirt
Mark.
nap. 174, not terrible. We don't know he's got a decent chunk of experience. He took a couple of decent, 300 to 400 hits to, really take him down. And hitting at only half of that, we're going to see more of his spell list, at least. Including Bane, which, with ribbons and pro rings, not too bad. 17 from the Thief. 60 from the Thief. 164. There's a stop. Not getting that 3 and 265, thank the Lord. 54. Missed Punch. Another Missed Punch, so those Invis casts paying off. 230 from the Fighter, 3 from the Thief.
I'm helping.
Yep. 105, 118. Man, it's just really all about those crits. Any crit we can get. And there it is, terminated with a 121.47 according to their stream time.
Well, GG.
Mm-hmm.
That is... It's nice to see it all pay off.
Oh, yeah.
Yoink. Hey, Osloto.
Hey, Oslo.
GG.
How you doing? Yeah.
Would you like a comforting hug after Kraken's bullying?
Oh, Kraken's bullying wasn't the problem. No. That was my own stupidity was the problem. And I don't know if anyone saw me do it, but I know I did it. I threw away the power bonk.
You threw it away.
Oh no.
Oh.
I was wondering why we didn't see that, like, happen.
Because I threw it away in Sky. And
Oh.
that's when I was too far in. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not resetting and going back. I can't afford the time loss. Oh, away we go.
We
That's why you
commit.
never saw it.
We commit to our failure.
At that point, there was no going back. I'd already picked up 7 or 8 shards. I was like, you know what? I was hoping that maybe I could find the floater. But turns out it's in Earth, and I was not going to Earth.
Yeah, I do not blame that one. Granted, Earth Floater was a very interesting bit where this run, like, massively diverged.
Yeah. Where was it, if I dare ask?
Second floor, bottom room, the one with the
Earth
spike
trap.
tile guard. Yeah.
The Earth tile, yeah. Lovely. No, I wasn't doing it. As soon as I got to Melmond, I said, you know what? I have the chime, I have the cube. Sky's got more treasure. It's denser. Let's do it. And hope that the floater's in there.
Oh yeah, I entirely don't blame you on that one. Like that's the play I would have made, you know, just in terms of it.
I was burned far too many times in the winter tournament by Earth being a dud, so I decided against it. It was not the best idea, I can tell. Also, a lot of pack, that unrunnable water pack, 1 tile before Kraken, that was fun.
Yeah, but Jimetta ran into it like 3 times on the way to Kraken. It was very funny.
Ooh. Yeah, I had great weapons. If only I promoted. There was a Vorpal +5 would have been very nice.
So many.
Yeah. And the Bassa was on one of the Cardia Islands.
Yep. So totally useless. Wouldn't.
Which, by the way, Budge, was that Warmac fight for the experience or for the memes of putting the Masa on the white?
Oh no, it was totally experience. I saw it. I was level 12 or something, and I wrote down a note knowing that all right, I'm gonna get my shards, get go mode, and then go here, get some levels, and then go. That was the plan as soon as I saw the X.
I was honestly wondering if you were going to go at it right then, because it was right there. And I thought that you had the resources for it, but waiting on the shard to get the bigger payout makes sense.
Oh
yeah, and I don't want to waste the time. I maybe could have done it. I didn't have a good sword at the time. I had some nukes, I had it fast, but yeah.
Well, you also were like just about to promote after that island anyway, so like you weren't going to get the spell charges or anything for doing it.
Yeah.
I had a plan. I was going to promote, and I think I did Sky right after. And
Yep.
This seed, it really helped out with my routing. I was saying in the post-race spoilers room, wiping out a volcano was probably key to my run, because I just totally faded volcano and went to Earth instead, got the floater, and that's what just set me up.
Yep.
So.
That said, Carrie was kind of nice. She didn't do much other than like fire or 2 every now and again.
No, Carrie was a literal pushover. The last winter tournament seed I ran before I was eliminated, I dove Earth when I should have done Volcano. So, yeah, that's what happened, and I did it again.
I would have not dive. I was really low level. I was gonna just walk it out, unless I got some crazy ice +6 or something. But I didn't think I had the levels. So
there actually was an ice +5.
Oh, was there?
Yes.
Oh,
there was.
no,
I got
flame
that, and then I died.
+5.
But I wasn't gonna go back for it.
I thought the ice was vanilla, but the flame was +5.
Might have been. I had an ice sword. I was swinging it. That's all I remember. Carry didn't do much, and at that point I just put in Viz up because I had the red mage, and just kind of said, well, hold A and pray. Same thing I did with Chaos. Thankfully, he had absolutely nothing.
I was gonna say, I
Correct.
realize this is
So-
one of those rare opportunities where I'm here at the end of an event, and I get to ask the two of you, like, so what did you think of the Platy Party overall with all 3 races that happened?
Well, I know I had a great time. This was my first Platy Party. I'm now after graduating last year from the Duck Derby. You know, this was my first time going in here. I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. And I never want to see a winter tournament 24 flag again. I can say that with total nonchalantness. The other 2 flags were fantastic. I had a great time with those. But yeah, I've run this WT flag a lot to practice it a lot in the qualifiers. I ran it 4 times in the tournament. I think we can safely put it to bed.
I was gonna say, I don't get to put it to bed. I get to play it if I get to finals of Duck Derby, which I'm very determined to do. I am filled with determination.
So I do want to call out. We have the final score update from Dark Moon on the spreadsheet.
The math is in.
The math is in. Oslodo, you still ended up being second overall with 54 points.
Woo!
Yep.
And,
I did.
And Budge, you are first with a very nice 69 points.
Nice.
Third place overall, Guardian Marcus at 53. So very close on your heels there, Oslodo.
Yeah, he was 5th, 3rd, and 3rd. It was, you know, I mentioned in the post-race room that the only way I was going to take first is if I got first and Budge didn't show up.
I was
So
gonna say,
it wasn't going to happen.
You just beat me by like 2 spots. It was close.
No,
I mean, it
actually, I
was
did.
ugly.
I did the math. If you got first and I got second, or sorry, if I got first and you got second, you'd still beat me by a single point.
Yeah, it was 2 spots. I think.
Yeah,
but,
you
you know,
had-
that's definitely not
Oh.
out of the realm of possibility. You know, it's
Oh,
a
I'm
very
certainly
good
not
runner,
complaining.
so-
I'm not complaining. I mean, to be fair, you know, last year I was a duck. I was in the Derby and I placed 4th. Now I'm in the Platy Party placing 2nd. That's pretty good for a year.
I was
Yeah.
gonna,
Treating you too well.
say maybe I'll be the next Oslodo. That's my hope. Oslodo is my new idol. I appreciate him, and I want to follow in his footsteps of being Duckling Supreme, followed by rocking Platy Party next year. That's my plan.
I was not the Duckling Supreme. I DNF'd my last race. Let's be clear. I'm not gonna toot my own horn too much.
Yeah, that was Peasants that won last year.
Peasants was 1st, Ravioli was 2nd, Maple was 3rd, I was 4th. Yes, I remember.
Well, I'm gonna set my goals higher and unachievable. It'll be great. I can only be disappointed.
Hey, I mean, listen, I had a great time, and absolute congratulations to Budge, the Platypus Prime. You deserve it. I mean, 1st, 2nd, 1st. No stopping you, man. No stopping you.
Yeah, this is surprising. It's some stiff competition in this tournament. It's a lot. I love the Platy Party.
Oh, this
I'm
was-
sad I won't get to play in it anymore now, actually. But you know,
I mean, you can audit
great
it
race.
like Chanigan.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can audit
You-
it.
You can do that. I
But,
mean, I
you
get
know.
to come back as many times until they kick me out.
I don't
Yeah,
know
the
what we do with Platypus Party. The Platy Party is kind of a very fun casual event. I don't remember if we had specific rules about eligibility and top 3 finishes and whatnot.
I mean,
I
I
don't
know
know, I
Guardian
stopped racing
Marcus
it after my
has a
first
platypus icon, so
Yes, he
Oh.
does.
I think it's only if you've won a solo tournament. That's the
Yeah.
only reason you can't.
That's-
Besides
Right,
the
right.
Derby.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah,
reason
you-
you can't do it.
So does this count? I don't know if this counts as winning a solo tournament. If it does,
I think it does.
Budge,
but
if it
unfortunately,
if it does, Budge, congratulations, and I'm glad I won't see you back here.
GG's Oslo. When everybody here ran, it was
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good one.
Absolutely GG's to everybody. I you know,
oh yeah.
there was some really tight races in there, like really close, and yeah, that was,
Have you thought about your platypus avatar, Oslodo?
absolutely. I already know exactly what I want Darkmoon to give me.
I'm guessing it's a Final Fantasy VI man known for gambling who may or may not own an airship.
Absolutely, I would love a Setsu Gambiotti platypus, hopefully holding a deck of cards or dice. I don't care which.
That is phenomenally more descriptive than what I gave Darkmoon, which was for me. I sent him horrible MS Paint art to try to show off what I was going for with the Oron sprite.
Listen, Darkmoon does good work. No question about that at all.
He does.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of my platypus, and I don't ever see myself getting rid of it. So.
Well, somebody once told me that the ducklings are more common, the platypuses are rare. To get one is very rare. Now, who told me that, I wonder?
Probably me. Probably me.
No,
yeah.
It was definitely you. It's definitely you.
we had a couple years without the Platy Party, and it only really came about in 2021, 2022.
Wow.
As like a thing again. So there just aren't that many out there versus ducks, where like the COVID class of ducks that I was part of, there were like 8 people who got duck avatars. It was enormous.
I say,
Fudge,
Biggs, do you want to congratulate the winners? We got cat time on the stream as he punches the mic.
Budge, are you going to stick with the imp?
I was debating that, or possibly the Moogle, which is what I had considered for my duck before Shidell and Hay had it. So we'll see. I got to think about it. I was telling them before, I refuse to let myself think about what I might pick. So we'll see now.
To be fair, I do like the green duck with the little imp hat on. That is a personal favorite of mine for sure.
I think it would translate well to a platypus. It's already got like a duck bill, right? So
yeah, right. Yeah, it's yeah. Kraken was mean. That's all I got to say. Kraken was mean.
So very mean. That said, we are getting a little bit late, so I think we might move to closing thoughts. What do you think?
That sounds like a good idea.
So how about we start with our Platymus Prime, then Budge Mono?
Alright, just GG's Oslota. It was a good race, good tournament, everybody who ran it. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes making these streams happen, and especially, Saracen, Luffy being running the Duckling Camp. That's fantastic. This is probably the best program, the best event I think that the Discord runs. So it's, just all the thanks to you guys for putting this together and making it happen.
And then what about from our major co-host from the OJ Power Hour? What do you got to say in shill?
Well, again, Budge, congratulations. It literally could not have gone to the person who deserved it more. You raced hard on all of these runs, and to beat you at least once makes me very happy. And a huge shout out to Saracen, Maddie, all the people in the background making this work. Goatspired, I see you in there. I know from a guy who does a lot of streaming and a guy who does a lot of restreaming. Yeah, it's a lot of work to put one of these tournaments on. And good job, good GGs to all of the runners that participated. I really look forward to coming back and doing it again next year. And hey, maybe we can get Budge Mono in an interview in 2 weeks' time on the Power Hour. Let's find out.
Hey.
All right, you put me on the spot here live. That'll be fun.
You don't have to answer. It's fine. Well. That was good. It was good.
And I think it is important that we get some final thoughts after. I think this is the last class from our Duckling Dawn and organizer, or main planning team for this in Saracen. What do you think?
We do have one more class coming up Wednesday night.
Really?
We do, and that's going to be Nova World with Shumbabi. That should be very exciting. Shumbabi is a huge advocate for an overworld. I've given him a flag set that I think is going to be a lot of fun for the Ducks, and that means that he is going to feel like he's gotten a big treat, as our challenge lead is used to putting on a little bit more of a difficult show than what I've given him. Nova World is a very different and divergent mode of play where we have literally no overworld, and that means that you're going to have to learn the map a little bit different as dungeon floors connect in extra places. So very excited about that. I think this Duck Boot Camp has been a rousing success, and I appreciate all the help across the community that's come in for this camp. We've had more volunteers for this Duck Boot Camp than I think we've ever had. And that's a combination of the Restream and Com crew, the featured runners, because we've had several featured runners, Dark Moon, Rubes, Sani, Shimbabi. I'm missing one, and I can just check my spreadsheet for this. Did you know that I run everything off of a spreadsheet? It's fantastic. Fry Teeth for Black Belt Week. And then we've got Shimbabi coming up for this upcoming class. But breaking news! We're rapidly figuring out the groups for the Duck Derby.
Oh, yay.
Spoiler, what looks like it worked for everybody is we're going to have a Group A Friday night and a Group B Sunday morning.
Oh, yay. Which one am I in?
You look like the Sunday.
That makes sense. I am a morning person.
Yep. Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Fridays are 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, I love
that is what looked like was available for folks. So we'll get the information out there as soon as we can. But wanted to make sure that breaking news was brought out because very important. The first race we're looking at this Friday, May 3rd. So if you are on that Friday night crew, be ready. We are going live this week.
Woo!
And
I'm gonna need to practice so much.
Now, one thing I'm going to say also is that means that the week 2 Sunday crew, that's going to be Mother's Day. So make sure to call your mamas first. Maybe try to push out for a lunch or evening dinner kind of thing. Because, 11:30 Eastern is kind of an awkward time for Mother's Day, I know.
I get the advantage I don't have a mother, so I just get all of the practice. It's gonna be great.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Any cheeky advantage you can get. Cutthroat. Push another duck off the sidewalk. It'll be great.
But yeah, beyond that, I think that this has been a fantastic boot camp, and I'm looking forward to the performance in the Derby. And Maddie, what are your final thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts, other than a lot of excitement for this upcoming Duck Derby, because again, I gotta practice, and I'm determined to do well. But we also do have the Summer Marathon coming up. We've been sending out, obviously, our advertisements and such, and we're still accepting additional runs. I think we're up to 41 hours of runs in for our 3-day weekend, so there's still room to try to fit stuff in, and obviously we're gonna have to figure out the schedule and such like that. I'm on marathon planning, so it's been a heck of a time getting through that, but if it's something you're interested in terms of either doing a run or looking forward to catching that, that is in early June, so after our Duck Derby. And we are always looking for showcasing new talent and new communities amongst things. So don't be afraid, even if you're not the best. I know I've gotten like DMs on it, like, I'm not great. I'm like, no, don't worry about not being great. Just, what will be fun for you and what you think will be entertaining. That's all that really matters on it, at least in terms of my bit. And supporting the Liam Foundation is always a really good time. So that's my exciting news for my wrap-up. That, I get to be a part of that and to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's going to be June 14th through the 16th is the marathon.
Yes, and we'll be accepting runs through till May 24th, so get your runs in if you want them, and, look forward to it, because I'll probably be hosting for some of them. So if you love my beautiful buttery voice, let me know, and I'll try to catch your hosting time.
All right. Well, with that, probably time to get on out of here. I want to say thank you again, Maddie, for doing all the restreaming over this Platy party.
It was a wonderful time, and it was happy to let the Platypie run their race.
The Platy party is kind of an interesting thing in that, like, all the other boot camp streams were like taking our time through the flags, pointing out all of these things. and then the Platy party hits, and it's like the gate drops at 9. Go, go! We've got a 10-minute delay to work through all the flags and any technical difficulties. And man, we've had all the experience with that over this Platy party. So I want to thank you for sticking out through all of that and being the awesome partner on that you've been. Thanks again, Goats Pirate. The tracking is always appreciated. And yeah, I think that calls it for me. It's late. Let's go. Have a good night, everybody, and GG.